in a 16-0 once. Oh no, that was Moses and I.
Yeah.
We've definitely done a 16-0. Come on, we've done like 8,000 maps in the last 2 years.
True.
So, surely we have. Magis goes back into the archway. Smoke down, they actually don't push by it, so that could have been problematic for them in the fact that they get into the site when he's watching that angle, but in the end, it's Snip without much weaponry. And as such, the kills come in, but Draken, okay, look, I have to say, he's the only one stepping up this game. He's actually made 12. He's the second man all night in 3 maps to get double digits for NIP.
Well, now it has to be a full eco map, and considering the scoreline, that's not really possible. So they might have to force buy into this one. It's 14-3, 1 away from match point. Pick your poison time. Do you go all in and try and win this round and then still potentially give them match point? It looks like they'll go for the more conservative approach, allow them to get to match point. It's going to be 4 clocks, Draken with the Deagle. 15-3, almost certain at this point. And that's going to be match point, and they won't have a ton of cash for that first gun on either. It's the T side, it's a bit more forgiving than the CT, but still the force buy with no bomb going down, that's a little bit rough for them. So here we go, 3 UMPs for North and 2 M4s as well. They have got kits, plethora of grenades as well. Major Boy at the upper platform here, looking to throw his HE just as that smoke goes down. Cajun B could be with him as well. There's the nade, double nade as well. Does considerable damage towards Draken. He's the only player with a weapon, well, an upgraded pistol, I should say, going into this one. He's now isolated behind the boost box. I think he's just been spotted as well. Cajun B looking to get the information. Now he certainly has. Won't get anything here. 5 on 4. That's the only player with an upgraded pistol. 4 Glocks and no map control to try and do something with this round.
Yeah, no map control.
Actually on their side of mids.
This should go to map point. AZ spots and realizes he needs to get a bit closer, so he will at the half wall, spraying through to make it 3 and an assist. MSL gets the other. That's going to be 15 rounds. Map point already. We'll get a Logitech look back. That's what I'm dubbing these from now on. But it's, yeah, it's going to be an abysmal night of Counter-Strike from NIP.
Yeah, this is one of the worst showings I've seen from them. And that's saying something considering current form. They actually looked relatively decent at the summer. They didn't get great results, but the games weren't this one-sided. And up against arguably better opposition in some instances. We'll see what happens. But 15-3, gun round comes in. They have 3 smokes, AKs across the board. Fast controls. Well, I think they've given up at this point. I think they probably know it's over. Just playing just to be polite. Bomb goes down.
Be polite, yeah. Don't leave the server. That's fine.
We know it's over, but
that's a yellow card.
We'll give it a good go. So 5 on 4, Config towards long 8. Actually swapped that position. It was Major's Boy who was famously playing that for a long time, but Config, a little more dynamic, I would say, than Major's Boy. Has the option to AWP as well. Very good in close range encounters, great aim. He's one of the best all-rounders right now, I'd say, in terms of being a world-class rifler and a decent AWPer as well. MSL finds a kill there in the connector position. This should answer him. Oh my God, how has he not got that kill? 5 on 2, and maybe this is a fitting end to a horrible night of CS from NIP. 5 on 2 map. This is going to be the end of the story. The never-ending story. The never-ending story. You can be a Trey. Wasn't that a three movie series? Just one, I think. Where they wrote? No, I think there was 2 at least. There might be books. There were 2. No, I think there was 2 at least. I had a babysitter who really liked it and made me watch it, and I thought it was really silly. And I remember watching 2 different movies. Maybe we watched the same one twice and I hated it so much I didn't realize. AZ makes this story end quite quickly. It's 16-3 in the end. I would say not a bad result, but it's a horrible one, let's be honest. NIP at the very bottom of Pro League right now. I think they're in maybe 13th or 12th place, so this is not looking good for them. They actually could be facing relegation, all things considered. North looking very comfortable tonight. I'm not going to take anything away from them. All of their players arrived. That was great Counter-Strike from them, what you've come to expect of this team as well. Cobble, and have a masterclass and have to take that NIP there. And Jason, can we ask... Wait. Okay. I have to answer this question first. I think there might be one. You might be right. I looked into it. Hang on, awards, nominations... That's definitely one. Blu-ray, legacy. Okay, fine. Anyway, tweet me if Jason, can we ask Chad about this whole auto shotgun situation? Over to you, my friend.
Yeah, the auto shotgun situation wasn't that good. It didn't turn out well, I don't think, for the auto shotgun user. He wanted to ask you, so I was just, setting the table.
Yeah.
But if you're going to continually, just keep shooting this down.
But to be fair, it does lead into quite an interesting point.
Yes, Lauren and I were actually doing some work while watching the game, surprisingly enough. We were looking at Freiburg's stats of the last 3 months on Cobblestone to see, and they've played it 9 times. Yep. They've won it 5 out of the 9 times. Yeah. And his highest weapon, presumably for the CT side, is the UMP, which he's made 24 frags with. And his then the 3rd highest is the auto shotgun, also known as the Alligator, which he has made 12 frags with. So I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
What's the Alligator?
The XM.
Okay.
11.
Get it?
Is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get it. Cool. I think like Lauren and I were discussing positions on maps where you see the UMP potentially being preferential, or like other weapons like the Mag 7 coming into play, right?
And it's mostly because it's not just Freiburg who has that, right? You look at
we had a few
Flusher,
others.
who also does it, Dozier. Every single player who plays, well, not every single, but there's a lot of them who play drop specifically, who have these kind of quote-unquote slightly out there stats. Flusher had very, very dominant UMP pickups as well, and there's also just throughout on Cobble because he plays drop. So if you look at drop specific players, it seems to come through. So it's quite an interesting one that these people feel the need to do it. And we were kind of discussing the theory of, is it because you have a high turnover rate of essentially dying a lot and high fire rate? It's quite an interesting little topic.
I used to play drop, and it was quite a difficult position to play, especially if you start to get exploited. But if you do get to churn up those eco frags, you can build a big bank for your team.
Yeah.
The way to approach it when I think you have an M4 is to not really take those duels with the player either dropping down or peeking from drop, because it's such a hard one to take. It's where you're better to do like a crossfire, have someone under the window, have someone by like the rock or by the statue looking into the gen room. And I think that's why, players who want to hold in the drop room and go for frags are using the UMP.
Well, it's when we saw Dozier actually have the M4 as well, when we were actually watching some of the Gambit games back.
Yep.
Whenever he had it, he was playing outside by the window,
Yep.
then kind of set up with someone else. I think it was a Dren playing over by the rock. So you see already the switch up there. So it's, I don't see it's not just NIP, it's not just Freiburg, it's just other people seem to make it work better.
Yeah.
I like that discussion. Really nice work today on the desk.
Thank you, Jason.
Excellent job. We're going to go explore the results of today in case you tuned in very, very late. This is what happened. We had 2 streams going on. Envy beating Heroic on both maps, and then North completely just deleting NIP essentially from any chance of the playoffs. G2 at Virtus Pro split series, and then Astralis takes out Fnatic on the first map. Inferno 16-6, and they're still there at halftime of the second map. It's currently 9-6 to Fnatic. So we'll see how that turns out. Doesn't really matter though, because North won both matches. They're qualified. They're through, as you can see by the beautiful green highlight that we have. North is your first team from Europe to qualify and be locked in for the playoffs.
Just to give you guys like a little understanding of how things are going to work come end of the whole season, the teams that are tied right there, like let's say we finished right now, Heroic, Hellraisers, and LDLC and NIP would all be tied, right, on 9 wins and 13 losses. They would then form a mini league, and from that mini league we'd have head-to-head results to see who beat who, and then after that I believe it goes to round difference if it's still not decided from there. So that's just a quick little explanation. So even though, let's just say LDLC and NIP were the only 2 tied there, NIP would be ahead of LDLC because they beat them in both of their maps.
Correct. Nice work.
No worries.
And now on to the North American schedule for this evening, if you're going to stick around, if you're going to be, all the fun stuff. Renegades taking on Misfits, and we mentioned last night Nexa is in town in case you missed that one. So if you want to see the newest sensation from that region, tune in. Cloud9 and Luminosity going head-to-head as well. Winter Fox and Optic, and then Immortals and Team Liquid. And there's obviously going to be a lot of playoff implications on the line as well. Seeding also coming down to it. This is tomorrow's schedule for Europe. Navi taking on Mouse Sports in 2. Those are 2 top 6 teams going head-to-head, so that's going to be very, very cool. And then the Envy that we saw today versus the NIP that we saw today would completely crush them. So let's hope NIP gets some good rest tonight and figure things out for tomorrow to be competitive.
Yeah, Navi definitely needed to bounce back as well. Their last match they played against LDLC, and that's where Existence just went God mode and carried them over 2 maps straight. So Navi are coming off the back of those losses. They're going to be hungry because they need these wins to kind of secure themselves a playoff berth.
Yeah, a lot of teams needed to lock that down as the season comes in. Either way, that's it for tonight. It was a quick show. Thank NIP for that one. So very fast, we're going to get out of here. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys tomorrow to keep you updated on all the playoff standings.
I can't understand people watching somebody play a computer game.
It's still not a sport.
It shouldn't be on a sports network.
But I don't know if athlete is the right word.
This is your chance to actually make it into the Pro League, be a professional Counter-Strike player.
That's the thing that Mountain Dew League provides.
Kingwin, you know what? If anybody has a shot at 2-0, it's Kingwin. Beautiful Counter-Strike. You usually only see that into the professional level of things.
We are one of the youngest team in top 20. Many teams can underestimate us and we can surprise them with our tactics, show our Polish power.
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
Counter-Strike is sharing incredible moments with us and will return to a memorable place. Get your tickets now at proleague.com/Dallas.
stuck in my head
That's what I'm
because
saying,
it's annoying.
intoxicating. It takes over your brain. It's just a nice, simple song to sing.
Chat.
Rice didn't really get much done in the fourth by in the previous round. 5 players towards the 8 side of the map. 2 middle, 3 towards long A.
That show's not very good, by the way.
I don't have to like it.
I'm just
A lot of
kidding.
people love it.
I'm just kidding. I'm just triggering you.
Doesn't trigger me. I didn't make it.
It's a good point. It's not really your loss, is it?
Well, here we go. The B execution comes in. An open bomb site greets Na'Vi as they make their way to the site. They did expend a lot of utility, but it's better to be safe than sorry. So they keep 5 players alive here, and NIP are looking at 6s and 7s as they can't really do much about this situation. It's going to be a PT-50 and a flashbang. That's all they have available. And C's, he's starting to find frags.
Starting to. Nip now the team to be locked on 14 rounds. It happened briefly to Na'Vi in the last game. The score was a little bit closer when it did there, though, so Na'Vi's still got a large hill to climb. Bomb planted this round is surely done, as we know. They're just hunting them out, trying not to give up guns to the pistols, but still trying to make sure they take them down for whatever reason. There's absolutely zero investment on the 2 remaining players who are hanging out of the doorway.
Yep, not going to get much out of this.
It's a big door when you look at those humans. That's actually pretty cool. They didn't get the gun, but they run boost out and get
Annoyed
a kill.
him a bit, at least.
Yeah, that's actually pretty funny.
Well, will they buy into this round? They will. They do get the AWP out for Draken. They need 1 round just to secure overtime at least. That releases a lot of pressure at that stage. It's not the best of buys, and this is why I said they shouldn't have forced up in that previous one. They would have had everything they needed to in this round if they'd just taken a couple of ecos. But c'est la vie as we go into round number 7. 1 kit, and now only 1 smoke remaining. We're not even got to 1 minute 40 yet. They have 1 smoke left over. That's not great. It comes out to Draken, who's been hit and miss tonight. Let's see whether he can get anything rolling here. Is he going to go for this aggressive pick? We talked about his decision-making abilities. This is a really unfavorable angle for a CT. He gets away with just about with the flashbang, but they're trying to hunt him down. Edward coming in with the flashbang. It's going to get him. Let's pull the trigger now, and he'll fall back.
Fall back indeed. Golden Arch comes over the top. Smoke nade lands. Guardian will continue to try to spray through the smoke with the AWP. Won't find anyone on the other side of it. Is he looking to set up a wallbang? I think he is, yeah. Guardian loves those.
Yeah.
Loves them. He's got the one on train.
Got 2 on cobble.
Yeah, I think he knows every single spot. I think he goes searching for them. He places bots in servers and does his own little theory crafting.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, for now, it's working out for Na'Vi. It was C to pick up that first frag, and they've got map control as well. He's just holding towards drop down. This will be a B finish. If he can hold there and listen out for footsteps, he stops rotating players coming in. And Guardian hitting another shot now. We might have a half on our hands here, Matt, because we said it. Na'Vi always pretty poor on the CD half, but they come to life here and sees he strikes at the perfect time, looking for 2 frags, takes down 1, and if he gets this one, it's a big scalp to take. Draken with the AWP does go down in the end, and it's just get right now. He's left in the 4 versus 1. He'll be upgraded to an AK-47, but it's not going to matter too much. Even if he survives this round, 4th saves lost bonus, they can't buy regardless, and they're trying to hunt him down as he retreats towards T-spawn. Might find Edward here.
He will.
Really?
We found him.
Ah, that's what you meant.
Just make sure you phrase your words so that you're always right, Henry.
That's true. I should have set myself up more correctly. Here's the roll replay.
This is sick.
Hello. Little run boost there as well.
Yeah. It's quite nifty.
So another eco.
I think that's my favorite word again, nifty.
Yeah, it's been a while. PT-50. So now, it's not scary at this point, but after losing 4 rounds in a row, NRP have got to start sweating a little bit. It'll be 49 after this round. They have PT-50s, no nades. And we have got some B focus. Guardian waiting for anyone to walk up the steps and into his warm embrace. His warm embrace of death.
Yeah, it's a warm place when you get sent to hell.
Yeah.
You know, would you rather a nice warm toasty fire or some lofty clouds? Flamey gets get right back. Smoke goes down behind Freiberg. Flash in as well. He snuck in, slipped in, slept in, whatever, after they'd already checked it. So we'll see if he can catch them off from that position. But enough time's gone by at this point. They should reconsider that position as Guardian will drop off the op, grab the AK, drop down up close. Flamey looks for the shot, but Draken's got the shot in return onto Guardian. Good pickup from Flamey. Through the broken wall, he finds 1. Forrest has a dink, though. Knows it as well. Red HP.
What?
And they're going to put themselves on that point with pistols. It's last night all over again.
It is, and that's huge. Na'Vi looked like they had this half under control where the P250 eludes, and what the hell just happened? The perfect flank comes in. Na'Vi a little bit apprehensive to commit to any sort of area that they've lost mid-control, horse control, and they're just being so, like, slow towards that platform position. It didn't really make sense why they hadn't committed at that point and just getting into the site and finding the frag, got the weapon advantage, get flanked, and 2 kills come in very quickly indeed. And Guardian, that's another nice line from him. That rock position actually looking above the smoke, the CT's put down to have an advantage at that point. So maybe we're not done just yet. 5 on 4 once again for Na'Vi. Get right toward danger. Of course, he'll be on the A side by himself at this point. Does he want to go over and cover the AWP? I'm not so sure. We saw him use that weapon in the last half. Not a great effect. Round number 9. Na'Vi now looking at match point. It's 7 rounds in a row.
That one certainly does. Get right in the corner, looking to be baited in. Doubly so is Freiburg's at the top of the ramp as well. Do they expect him to be here? Absolutely not. They've already killed 2 watching mid. Get right, wait, sees Guardian going back, takes the fight, and Forrest. Oh, you sneaky little Leshen. Gets up close, sees, turns around to check back, and he hits the headshot, no problem, back to 2 versus 2.
2 on 2. 1 minute remaining. Bomb in the hands of Simple. He's got 48 HP as well. The CT's now sticking together. Nice tactic to have. If you can find the T's, you have a good chance at least trading at that point. And it looks like they'll be heading towards B. You can see Edward, who's in the connector position. But Get Right's watching the flanks. He is aware this could be a possibility. Simple hoping he pushes into them. And 35 seconds remaining as well. It's anyone's game at this point. It's not clear who has the advantage at this stage. Maybe NIP now. That's the kill that secures it. That could be the win right there.
High possibility.
Yeah, he's had the footsteps as well. It's over.
He's got him right now. Boom, down he goes. Get Right secures it. They'll split the evening 1-1. Decent result for both teams, all things considered, as they both climb their way up the ladder.
For us as well. It settles our argument. We're both winners.
That's true. I think I'm still better, but that's fine.
Oh, total rounds 1, I think.
That's true. You got me. I was hoping you weren't going to figure that one out, you know, if I'm honest.
Well, should we go back to the bully?
Yeah. Jason, that is you.
Don't get the reference on that one. NIP split the games. They do come back and win that second one. NIP take it by a wide margin, a much better combo. And I mean, the interesting thing is we talked about, Chad, I mean, you mentioned both teams having weaker CT sides. We don't have to really see NIP's all that much just because they had such a good first half.
Yeah, Draken was actually moving around a little bit. He got caught out going for an aggressive B platform play with the AWP, but it was good to see him actually being a bit more active. So I thought that was a positive for their CT side at least. But you're right, they didn't have to get it going, really. They won pistol round, which is a way to make it nice and easy for yourself. And then Na'Vi with similar struggles. But the way that NIP were approaching it, lots of mid players, lots of A players early, and then they went back towards the B plays. So I like the tactical approach by them.
Yeah, no, I actually really like their A plays coming out. Seemed aggressive, seemed good at it as well, seemed confident in what they're doing, and it just overran Na'Vi a lot. Na'Vi CT side seems just still lackluster on this map. Continue the loss streak on it. Maybe needs a review soon. Maybe reshuffle it in the map pool of things they want to play. I don't know how they want to approach it, but maybe it just needs a little tweak on it. Because the T side seems okay. Easy, Tiger.
Sorry.
Easy.
Easy. No, the T side seems fine. It wasn't phenomenal, but you got to highlight Get Right in that as well. He had a great performance individually.
And Freiburg.
Yeah, Freiburg as well. The people you highlighted, well, at least Freiburg was one that you highlighted, had to do well, and he seemed to deliver.
Well, as Henry always says, when Freiburg just has a try, NIP usually has some good games. So, I mean, we kind of questioned this among ourselves watching the game. Was you know, it was nice to see a little. I mean, you mentioned like their A hits. It was nice to see some teams like starting to focus more and more on this A bomb site. So we're starting to see a little bit more love to each bomb site on the map from the T side, which is cool to see.
You want to spread it around.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it also makes, you know, your B hits more effective if you're going to A, and your A hits more effective if you're going to B frequently. So it's nice to have that kind of a...
Variety's the spice of life, Jason.
For some reason, I couldn't think of the word twice when I was trying to finish that
Diversity?
sentence. Yeah, that works. Diversity's nice.
Love it in esports.
Love it?
Yeah. Thanks for employing me.
Brilliant. On that note, before we go too deep down that rabbit hole, we're going to head to a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have the second matchup of the evening, which is going to be Astralis taking on Kingwin. And also, we're going to have the second episode of Fair Dinkum.
opens up the play potential. Watch Kenny drop down. Hit 6 hit stuff. 1v1 spotted up. Oh, Kenny!
Once again, very quickly, they've tried this before. They're going to shut down time after time again. Automatic!
This AWP got two, goes for a shot. That's smart. Gus gets Skadoodle. Jumps up. Still a bit of time on this. It's going to be a 10-second defuse. He's got to hit the shot right now. Oh my God, Fallen!
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the ESL Pro League. We just saw NIP take on Na'Vi on Cobblestone, and with our next game being Astralis versus Kingwin, we wanted to take the chance to highlight the upcoming Intel Extreme Masters tournament in Sydney. Astralis will be there, and also representing the North American region, it will be Optic and SK Gaming in attendance. Interestingly enough, both teams played yesterday, and Optic served SK their first map loss on train to start off that best-of-2 series. Optic continues to play musical chairs with their roster, however, this week moving Freakazoid to inactive and bringing in Jason R to replace him. With Optic already taking down SK in that one map, Jason R's first performance is already looking pretty solid. But while Jason R is only on the team as a temporary solution, he will continue picking up the role of the in-game leader. Optic is currently sitting in 6th place on the NA League and will be going up against Misfits on Friday. With Rostermania in play, this opens up the door for new talent perhaps to come into the scene, and maybe even you could be one of them. The Mountain Dew League is giving amateurs a direct path into the ESL Pro League. For all the information and details on how you can be involved, head over to esca.net/MDL to find out more. Finally, Rush has a bit of a smoke tip for all you up-and-coming future pros.
Tired of those pesky terrorists rushing B-site on cobblestone? I'm glad I'm not the only one, so here's a CT smoke to stop that rush. This one is a little harder than some of the other smokes we have shown. Position yourself in this corner. Aim to the left of this corner. Then run, jump, and throw, all within 0.5 milliseconds and in that order. The smoke will soar across the map and land perfectly to stop a T-rush.
Oh, hi.
Hello. Welcome back to the broadcast. Welcome back to ESL Pro League. You might be wondering why we look ridiculous. It is the second day of us doing... Yeah, you always... I don't know. It's the second time we're doing Fair Dinkum.
Yep.
Which is our little promo segment that we decided to come up with, have a little bit of fun, introduce all of us on the desk to a little bit of Australia's finest. This is in preparation for IEM Sydney. That's taking place on May 6th to 7th in the Kudos Bank Arena over in Sydney, Australia. You can get your tickets over at intelextrememasters.com/tickets. Make sure you're there. The teams that we're going to be seeing there so far that have been announced: SK, Astralis, FaZe, North, Optic, Renegades, and then we're going to have the Asian qualifier and the Australian qualifier. You bought these, so I don't think it's fair that you're laughing at how ridiculous I look.
Okay, so that hat is actually, we reserved that one for tourists.
I'm out. I'm done.
So that one you can take with you to Australia. That will help. It's quite sunny. We don't want you to burn. We don't want you to burn your head.
Back to the hair.
Back to the hair. And I'm sure that you're very, you're going to enjoy a bit of Australian culture. Mine is actually, this is a true blue Australian hat.
What's the corks for?
The corks are for the hordes of flies which land on your face. This deters
And what's the flag for?
The flag is just because it's Australia, Matt.
Oh.
We're trying to get people to come to Sydney for the event. Let's not talk about
we
the
have
hordes of
kangaroos, koala bears,
much
we got
better
all
than
that
flies.
cool stuff.
Stay to that.
Renegades, the Australian
What is this
squad will
other
be there.
thing you've got over here?
This here is a true blue Australian boomerang.
All right.
These are from the indigenous people.
Okay.
You can use them to hunt kangaroos.
Gotcha.
But nowadays we just throw them, and a boomerang always comes back if you haven't heard the...
Could you demonstrate?
I can demonstrate. Here we go.
Oh, Lord, that was
coming
really
back.
fun.
It's coming back.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's skipping up the ground.
Not bad. That was perfect.
Kangaroo Slayer. Kangaroo Slayer.
Perfect.
And we do have some food for you to try, Jason. The package is a little bit ripped. But this is an Anzac biscuit. The New Zealanders will tell you that they are also inventors of this.
Okay.
They are liars. So try one of these.
All right, liars now.
The
We've
New
got
Zealanders.
criminals and liars on this island.
Henry?
Wow. Okay. The different islands, Jason.
So have a nibble on that. I'll continue to talk about these delicious, authentic biscuits.
Well, don't talk about them too much. We don't have much time.
All right. Okay, we'll get stuck into this. This is a Tim Tam. This is what Australia is known for.
And I've been known the Tim Tam Slam is when you bite this open and you drink something through the...
Did you say bite the soap?
Sounds like something else, to be honest.
Something about... Something, it sounds like something Matt invented.
Get the Tim Tam in you. Eat the Tim Tam, mate. And the last one is
That's just a penguin bar, mate. We have this in the UK. It's just a penguin. You've stolen that from England, I'm afraid. Look it up. Penguin bar.
This is a barbecue shake. It's my favourite.
Okay.
I think we're done now, though. We need to talk about Australia.
We're going to talk about the match now. There's too many things. You brought too many things. There's going to have been 3 different segments. Astralis versus Kinguin is going to be the next matchup. Chad is inoperable. Henry, what are we thinking of Astralis versus Kinguin?
Sorry, who's playing? Astralis versus Kinguin. Okay, so it's going to be Overpass first, right? Let's get serious. Let's calm down. Okay. Maybe I can't look at you, sir. I'm going to look over here. Astralis, one of the absolute best maps, right? Overpass, obviously #1 team in the world right now. Kinguin, they are a team that's certainly on the ascendance. #2 team in Polo, not that that means much, but they can beat VP on their day. They always have interesting home derbies. Yep. They played Overpass actually recently against Epsilon this week and actually got battered 16-7. So going up against Astralis, and you just lost to Epsilon on that map, it's not looking too good overall, but they've got an amazing amount of firepower. Spiro, Mihu especially, very, very good. Amazing fraggers, but going up against Astralis, their overall package is going to outweigh them. I don't really see them having a chance here in Pro League.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing about Kinguin to me, I feel like, is that they seem to have some good results from time to time, but like we don't see them frequently enough. And whether that's just because they're not attending enough events, they don't qualify for enough events, whatever it might be. I mean, it's a situation where I feel like they should be considered a little bit better than they are, but they just haven't kind of broken into that level where we speak about them frequently.
They're a top 20 team, you know, in saying that, but I guess they are an outlier, right? They have that upset potential, but whether or not they can do that every day of the week against a team like Astralis in the Pro League on arguably Astralis' best map is a tall task. I can't see them winning this one unless they come up with some massive counter strats, some massive ways to, you know, really deal with how Astralis approaches this map on the T and CT and those sides.
I mean, now with Astralis, I mean, this is the thing we saw. Actually, even you know, Lauren mentioned on the desk, you know, NIP taking one of Astralis' tactics on this map. I mean, that's just how good they are. Where they're just like, yeah, this was nice. We saw it to great effect. Let's just take that.
Yeah, well, that's how CS progresses as a game as a whole. Like, the best team in the world will present a new idea and a strategy that's not really been done before, and then it will evolve in the sense that it kind of stops working so much as everyone starts doing it, they know how to counter it at that point. So that makes a lot of sense, and that's always, you can't, it's difficult to stay. It's just one thing to get to the #1 team in the world. Whether you can stay that, consistently win big tournaments, that's the next thing, right? That's why people catch up to you, start taking a lot of notice of your demos and everything like that. You're looking very serious that hat on, Jason. It's making me uncomfortable.
I actually forgot I was wearing it for a while.
Okay.
I've gotten used to it already.
Yeah.
Chad, anything about the matchup that you'd like to talk about?
I don't think Overpass will be as interesting as Cage, which is the following map. I do think they will have a chance there. So for this first one, I'm probably done, Jason. Are they ready yet?
Probably not. What's that, Henry?
I was going to say, do you want to talk about Cash now as well? Or
no. We definitely don't want to talk about Cash.
Just focus on
we're focusing
Don't
on...
get too far ahead of yourself, Henry.
Oh, you brought it up first. I'm just trying to continue. You said you were tapping out. I'm just trying to keep this alive.
Well, what if we talk about the cool jump smokes the guys from Kinguin sent?
Let's do it.
You've done some of that before. Why don't you tell us?
Jump smokes?
No, about theirs.
Oh, yeah, I think they're really... This just get off. All right, it's really innovative. I can't say it. I can't speak.
Of course, hates his country.
The way that they throw their smokes is unusual.
Okay.
You don't really see other teams approaching in the same way. And I think that's, you know, gives them an element to be able to have a lot faster strategies with set smokes landing quicker than other teams.
Can you go into a little bit more detail?
Cobble is a very good one. They're able to do some very good B cobble smokes, like from T-spawn.
I remember people were tweeting about it at the time and speculating when they were still using the jump binds. With that, any truth in that?
Yeah, but now you can just do it with 2 keys, just as easy.
So it's sort of the same thing.
Yeah, because if you're doing it in a safe environment, right, you don't need to worry about holding your mouse, so you can have both hands on the keyboard ready to do the jump bind.
So why do you think they're the only ones to do that and no one else does?
I think they maybe just nerded up in the server a lot harder. That's not meant in like a negative way.
Yeah.
I think teams should be doing that kind of stuff and innovating, but they kind of rely on gimmicky strategies to get them across the board. In saying that, in a lot of the demos that I've been watching them lately against tier 2 teams like they default a lot, and it's quite boring to watch.
Who, Kinguin?
Yeah.
They default a lot?
I'm really selling this match.
Yeah, you really are. We need to have a chat in between these when this game is live, Chad.
Yeah, about a few things.
Yeah, about a great many things. Yeah, so I mean, do you feel the same way, Henry? Is this just going to be like Astralis kind of putting on a clinic here? I mean, is there anything to the sense that? Is there anything Kinguin to do? What are the win conditions for Kinguin outside of like an individual Herculean effort?
Like I said, Mihu definitely has the potential to be a superstar in CSGO. He's certainly good enough. His only limit right now is he doesn't speak English. He only speaks Polish. He does speak some English, but not enough to be in a top team. He's actually a very, very good player. They have got some good results this year, and if the other guys can join in, and Astralis caught them on a bad day, that's pretty much is about it. Like, unless they go absolutely wild and Astralis don't turn up, that's the only chance they can really win at this point. They're just too good as an overall package. Like, even if they're not fragging, the team play and the tactics on the T side especially will carry them through enough to win enough rounds there. And Device's AWP, I don't really think they have an answer for that on this map. This is my favorite map to watch Device on. Very dynamic, always changing his position every single time. You can know what he's going to do in his tendencies, but he's going to be one step ahead of you every time. It's a game of chess for him, and he's very good on this particular map of doing that.
Even before he became an op, I remember watching when Kerrigan was in the team, and one of the things they did with him very well on the T side is give him isolation over towards long A, and he would just work his way up there, and he would always find like a one-on-one duel, and more often than not he's winning it. Like, he made that area like his playground, and that is such a luxury to have, whether it's with an op, whether it's an AK-47, be able to get one pick like that on that A bomb site.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean, this is now Astralis is just going to be.
The thing is, I guess one thing we can talk about with Kinguin, right? If Astralis get a bit ahead of themselves and think this is just a guaranteed win, lock it in, let's keep going aggressive every single round on the CT side, keep presenting ourselves and getting in towards connector, getting device aggressive towards middle. Maybe that doesn't start working for them. They find themselves losing 3-4 rounds in a row and the economy gets thrown away. Maybe that's a chance. Maybe Astralis underestimate their opponents. That could be another win condition, I guess, to kind of put it like that. They're obviously going to go into this one very confident they're going to pick it up. They probably don't see any sort of realm they lose this game, but to be fair, it's online CS and Pro League has served out some interesting results so far. I'm sure they'll be having some caution going forward.
I think as well, like to touch on the Counter-Strike stuff I was talking about, if King would make sure they hold on to Sewer.
You're taking yours off?
The hats are off.
I was asked to.
Oh, really?
I have a legit reason.
Oh.
You, on the other hand, do hate your country.
Wow. So at the moment, guys, I'll just do Jason's job for you. Yep. We're waiting for the players to change server because they're having a lag issue. One of the players was lagging, so they're trying to find a mutual agreed upon server.
There's a lot of that lately.
There is a lot of that lately.
Well, that's the problem with online CS, right?
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be under 40 ping.
So we can talk about something. Oh, here's an idea. One of the things with Kinguin is that they've always it's kind of a crazy concept, but they've always felt like because they're the second best team in Poland, because, you know, we don't see Polish teams kind of mingling in terms of their Counter-Strike lineups with other countries. Is Kinguin really just kind of like a glorified farm team?
Well, no, it can't even be a farm team.
Yeah, and it can't even because they don't even pick them up. But like, is there? Yeah. But like, they're still seen in that light, despite the fact we know VP doesn't make roster changes.
I don't think we touched on this earlier on. Maybe you weren't here yet.
Possibly,
still at Alex.
Yeah. Could have been the first.
But we touched on this that they know that that's never a possibility, or at least as far as they're looking forward, right? They have to build what they have with who's left. And I think they've done that because there was that e-battle team.
Yep.
And then there was the other one.
It's always been a mixture of these sort of players.
And now these are like the best of both worlds. So, you know, to be a top 20 team in the world is nothing to turn your nose up at. I just don't know how far they can really push it.
That's the question. Is this just a team that's kind of locked in by the language barrier at the moment?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I said, some amazing talent within this team in terms of raw firepower, but I don't think they'll ever be picked up by like an American team or even a European team like FaZe. Let's use them as an example as an international team. The English isn't quite there yet. They're still very young guys. I'm sure that can be worked on. This is great experience for them, getting good results overall and getting better and better at the game. It's a nice little package right now, but if they really want to set their expectations really high and get to like a top team in Europe, they say a top 10 team, they need to maybe address the language issue. Some of these players want to step out of the shadow of Virtus Pro.
Now, with Astralis, I mean, this is a team that's clearly #1 in the world at this point,
yes.
right? I mean, there was a question after they won the major. You could still kind of make an argument that there's still teams that can beat them, but this team is unquestionably #1.
Yeah, absolutely. Winning some big events recently, I think kind of it's pretty much secured that after winning the major. Oh, like I said, the point, excuse me, this food is...
So
those Tim Tams.
Those Tim Tams, whatever they're called. The thing is that, yes, you can win one major, but like for the reason I stated earlier in this section is the fact is that everyone's going to be kind of set that as the expectation, how they should be playing the game, and everything you already do, they're going to start downloading it and working it out. If you consistently still win tournaments after that, it suggests your whole package, like they've got the coaches, they've got the sports therapists and all that sort of stuff. Obviously, everything's working very nicely for them, consistently winning amazingly big tournaments as well. I think the next major, coming up in June or July, whatever it is June? July. I think that's the real test for them. For me, when they win that, they win 2 majors in a row like SK did, then we're really talking. Then we can kind of say this is Astralis' era, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think for them going into this tournament, which we have Starlighter next week, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see if they're going to be holding back strategies. I know we talk about that, but this win is important down the track, but it's not important for the ever-coming Starlighter, which is just around the corner. So I would love it. This for me would like cement Astralis as a team who is super proactive about staying the #1. If they were to bring Cobble into the map pool and go, hey, we're going to play this now. Like, they say they play all 7, but we've never seen them go up against another big dog on Cobble. It's something which I think they have the pieces and they could be good at. It's just they've never really addressed it.
Yeah, I think I agree. There's definitely #1 for now, and Starlighter probably going to be one of their tournaments again. It's just that next major for me, just to live up to the legacy SK left behind when they were #1 team. That's what I want to see. To kind of like say, okay, now this year belongs to Astralis. Yeah.
Do you think this is going to be an era? Do you think next year we'll be looking back and say 2017 was the year of Astralis?
Yeah. I think the addition of Glaive, the only thing they were really missing in the previous Astralis package was when the chips were down and things started to go wrong for them, they kind of froze up, right? Like everyone called it choking, right? They ran out of ideas. Like Harrigan seemed to didn't know how to kind of position his players and utilize them the correct ways to get himself out of this rut. Glaive seems to be a lot braver than him in that respect. When things are going wrong, he can detect it early, and he gets him into by very quick and fast tactics to allow his top players to get into a position where they can find frags. Train is of the grand final at the last major.
When they're down 7 rounds, just call that outside rush.
Outside rush, he knows the player's starting to freeze up, he can feel the communication starting to fall apart, just do some outside rushes, get it done. And that's the difference maker, I think, between Carrigan's kind of in-game leading style and Glaive's. He knows when things, he can recognize the patterns as to when his team is about to fall apart, he fixes it, gets him back in the role, and it's actually much better to watch overall, I think.
How did this happen so quick? How did they become the best team so fast?
I think they were already like on the cusp of a top. They were already a top team, right?
Yeah.
Like there's no debating that.
Yeah.
But I think the thing with Carrigan was not only maybe he didn't have some elements that Glaive does have. I think Carrigan is a great in-game leader. I think they had lost hope or faith in him as an in-game leader. So when you're addressing situations and it's getting tight, then not only does it compound like, okay, this is stressful as it is, oh, well, we don't have faith in our in-game leader, or we don't think that we can do this or whatever. So even though that might not have been actually expressed, or it wasn't present, it could have been, subconscious. And I think, that's a factor. We talk about this. We talked about it in the first matchup. Draken, how he's going to revitalize NIP. Andy being the new coach has looked like it's helped Na'Vi. So a new player now for Astralis has obviously helped them leaps and bounds as well. And I think like everyone, kind of gets a bit of a honeymoon period, which is a positive thing.
What's going on now?
I think we're going to show some smokes off.
Okay. An interesting mix-up.
Yeah, I think this is just to provide a little bit of entertainment. And that's the thing. I don't think this is just kind of rushed. I think this is like an impromptu, like, hey, future pros.
Oh, okay. This is cool.
Is this live?
This is live.
I believe it's live.
So we don't have to talk about this, though.
So, yeah.
Well, that's a good one. I'll be using that. That's great. How do I throw that one again?
That's actually...
Get that camera.
Jeez, Rush. Come on now. What have you done? I was calling it a one-way, I think. Keep the space shift one way.
While we've got
Bait them into thinking it's a one-way, and then you kill them.
Yeah.
There was the tweets that went on this morning and last night, I believe. I think MBK started off with the grenade noises.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that one?
You kind of seem to have a good understanding of what he meant. I'm still a little bit confused.
My level of understanding, unless things have changed since I quit playing, was that on different surfaces or different levels, when you pinned a grenade, it made noise.
Let's pin a grenade.
Well, it doesn't matter. We need another player.
Right,
we need someone else, right? So, like, an example is B
Long. Demonstration.
B Long, when the Ts are like all setting up their nades and they're pulling them out, and if the CTs are on a lower level, for whatever reason, they can hear it. Another one is Pop Dog on Train. When you're going to underarm a flash down Pop Dog, you can hear them pull the pin on that one. And I believe Nathan's tweet is about, making it so that you can't hear that, right? Because it gives away if an execute's coming, especially like a full execute, like a B1 on Cobble. That's when the Ts can just start, CT, sorry, can just start launching all their counter nades ahead of time. They get, an extra tell.
So just to confirm, it's not when you actually throw the grenade, it's when you left click and holding it down.
Yeah, you're just holding it.
So you could, and it's not consistent for other surfaces. That's the main problem for me. If it's consistent throughout, you could almost use it in your favor. You could base out.
I could be completely wrong. Someone tweeted me and say you're an idiot. That's fine. But that's my understanding. And
we'll be doing that.
MSL made an interesting tweet where he was saying that he agrees in the sense of the middle throw and the normal throw, but the underarm make it always make noise.
Make the sound.
And I kind of agree with that. Yeah, because people are so filthy with that in smokes. They like to do the little underarm and push through a smoke. And I think you should get kind of punished for doing a dumb play.
Well, I mean. That's calling it dumb.
Use right click, it's dumb.
Well, pushing through a smoke, guys, come on.
Yeah, that's quite a
if you have a flashbang to back it up.
Sorry that I'm a purist.
God, Rush is just, this is awful. Yeah, I'll get that off.
Well, I could have talked him through a one-way. I'm trying to do a one-way Rush.
Okay, we're going back in.
Are we going to do coaching? Coaching with Chad Birchill?
Maybe.
All right. Yeah, I mean, let's...
I like talking, so let's keep doing this.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you want to talk about next, Jason? Give us a topic. Give us a spicy one.
And
if you had the Negev... We'll go back to that game. The players are connecting, so we just have a little bit longer to
give us a nice question. Build us up.
We can talk about tonight's NA matches, Jason, and why you love North America so much.
This is his job. Don't do it for him.
Yeah. That's actually not a bad idea. I like this.
Oh, he's bailed him out as usual.
Do you want me to... Because we'll get your input here, Jason, because I think it's very important. The first match is Renegades versus NRG, and the map will be...
I'm just going to go with NRG.
Cobblestone. Okay. Yeah. Is that because Renegades currently have 2 stand-ins?
I'm not even entirely sure who Renegades is playing these days. Who they're bringing into the server?
Atta.
Atta still? Okay.
No, Atta.
Atta and Uber. I'm still going to go with NRG.
You have faith in your old mate peaky.
Here's the thing,
filthy
Peter.
Pete.
You know, despite some of his struggles that we've seen in tournaments, online play in North America, he's going to be a very solid option for you. And also, I quite like that they brought in Daps. He's an in-game leader that I've actually given some decent criticism of, you know, over time. I don't think he's an in-game leader that's going to like blow your socks off tactically. He's not really going to innovate anything. But the fact that, you know, he can come in and provide some structure, that he's experienced as an in-game leader, one of the few in-game leaders in NA that's experienced. He has this team now. You know, last season weren't even, you know, even under Gabi, weren't looking like,
now, right?
yeah, they weren't going to be playing in the playoffs, and now they're top 4 at the moment. They're sitting right there in the middle of the race, in the thick of it. So I think he's done a very good job, and as well, you have to give him credit as well. Wasn't there for the successes of Optic at the end of last year, but he certainly got them to that line. You know, he built them from a team of like that of players that nobody had really wanted for a long period. Like those were kind of like five of the leftovers from different lineups, and he brought them all together and he got them to that finish line. And someone else brought him over it, but you know, I give him credit for that as well. So I think that's cool. Another team that's done that recently is CLG, bringing FNS back. An in-game leader that, once again, is not tactically going to blow your socks off. He's not going to light the scoreboard up or anything like that, but he's a playmaking in-game leader. And he also obviously knows this team because he's got Cutler back to playing to a new level. He's now got Ricky underneath him as well.
Yeah.
So that's looking like a pretty, maybe not world beaters, but exciting.
This is
maybe not world beaters.
This is just
well, they do have Kustas, so I mean, they could be there easily.
This is talk and counter. We just need a couple of beers.
Frothies?
A couple of frothies and away we go.
Yeah, you should have brought some Fosters with you. That would have been great.
If we had Fosters, this could be like talking counter and fair dinkum.
And it'd be actually properly Australian instead of this penguin wannabe chocolate.
Yeah, wannabe.
What about Immortals versus Rush? Or are they ready?
I think they're ready.
We better not hold
Here we
them
go.
up
He's
anymore.
giving us the finger. That's it. Let's go.
Let's go. Over to the casters.
With that being said, we will be heading over to the caster. It is Mitch and Lauren.
Can we appreciate, for that moment, they went with Chad's throw rather than Jason's. Just back on Jason, feel the shame.
To Mayhem, and it's all gone to bollocks here. To be fair, though, I wouldn't mind if one of those boys lashed me a Tim Tam or something in the interim. Yeah, well, are they the same thing? Is that what's a penguin bar?
I'm trusting Henry to a degree. Big fan of penguin bars. They always used to be in your lunchbox when you were a kid. Chocolate with a little bit of biscuit in the middle, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we got
a little bit of chocolate
biscuit in the middle.
Here we go, yeah.
Thanks, mate.
Chuck us a bit of that. Right, break it off, you animal. Oh, thank you, there's more.
No, it's biscuit with chocolate in the middle.
That's a penguin. That's a
Whatever.
penguin.
Speaking of penguins, of course, it's going to be Kinguin going up against Astralis in this match here. Obviously, over 2 maps, we're going to be kicking things off on Overpass. And Lauren, the desk wasn't really very hot on a Kinguin performance here. They were definitely favouring Astralis.
Oh, yeah.
Do you agree with that?
This is one of the moments and maps where stop eating the bicky. He's gone back in for more. Cheeky.
Is that a euphemism, Lauren?
Maybe. Astralis, though, known for this map. Their prowess on this is good. They've set trends that other teams have picked up on. Kinguin, certainly very quirky. No disputing that, but people are very aware of what Astralis do now. You saw this being one of the big defining maps of their new playstyle.
Sure.
Coming through, which was the whole giving them very defined roles or certain pairings, working playstyles together. So for them, this is a good map to show it off. Eyes towards Kiebi and Dupree in that aspect. Beyond that, again, they've got Device, good AWPing style, very aggressive on this too. It works well on it. So a lot of factors come into this, but Kinguin can come into this and look at Astralis and go, okay, how can we dismantle you? We're the underdogs. We can put you somewhere in, maybe on a back foot here, because we can work everything that you're doing. But another spanner to the works is I know Astralis just had a boot camp as well. I'm not sure if they're still there, but they were recently. So this could be them, you know, on good form, feeling good about things, you know, pulling themselves back into line. So yeah, we'll see how that one plays out. But Kinguin up on the T side here. And T side, of course, will be Astralis.
And let's shelve, I guess, our predictions for now. And let's see how this works out, of course. Fist around to start us off. So far, a couple of shots being exchanged, but very little damage being incurred. It's Rallon with most of the utility here for Kinguin. And that's one of his flashes now being put to use. Even a decoy thrown up in party. So Kinguin making sure they exercise as much of this margin as they possibly have. It's going to be a little bit of a later push over towards B by the looks of things. And Glaive will be waiting in Monster.
A bit of info, able to escape as well, which is good, but you can see the push coming through. Zipnix and Dupree there. Dupree gets found pretty quickly, and Astralis backing away from B. They don't want to actively try and hold it because they're being overrun, and actually so far Kinguin setting the pace here, and they're doing it rather well.
On the bomb site, bomb down. Mouse is going to cover Miku as he goes for the plant. And Glaive has no win right now, nor does Kiebi really. Both of these two players, one of them needs to make a move. It's going to have to be Glaive at least trying to draw some attention towards him on towards that catwalk. Now down into pit. Kiebi takes a couple of hits up the top side. Glaive has to face this, and there's going to be 2 players at least to deal with. It's
Gonna be Mouse's head goes rolling though. Rallon was close by, and now the 2v3. Oh, that's gonna be Mihu though, dropping into the pit.
Yeah, Mihu around on the flank then just kind of just stops that from beginning. It looked a little dangerous at moments there, but no. In the end, Kinguin pick it up. Good start for them. Team ace as well. Every single player getting a kill on the board. And we'll see what Astralis do to try to respond to this. We actually do have a pause coming out, so wait to see what happens with that. I can imagine it's probably, I imagine technical at this point, as tactical would be curious. But as said, a little outdone there. Kinguin defining the route they want to take. The aggressive play coming in through underpass from both Dupree and Zipnix, just not really working out. And Mouse and Mihu so far both having the rifles. I wonder if we get the UMPs coming out, what they have in store for us. Because it will mean if they go for the rifles in this round between those two, it would be a bit lighter on utility, so the others might go for the SMGs just to be able to get a little bit more. And we know that these guys like a little bit of tactical play or kind of scripted or those sort of hits where you've got these perfectly done smokes. And Astralis are no strangers to that on their T side as well. So it'd be quite nice to see what Kinguin have up their sleeve. Always an interesting view. So, dramatic music starts as maybe the mouse has started working again. But we are actually alive into this one. That's all but a ruse. Anyway, we'll see how this one goes. Kinguin want to keep this one alive, keep those SMGs farming up the money. On the other side, a hell of a lot of 5.7s, P2 Swifty, and a Deagle.
Grenade going to come in towards Party. And Kirby just going to take a little bit of damage off of that. Nothing to write home about, though, at this stage. Astralis bring Device and Kirby back into the A site. They actually scouted deep on long early in the round and found very little. That's a lot of information for Astralis now, knowing about how Kinguin want to move around the map. I know that our eyes need to be towards B, and I like this. I like this setup here in towards the canals here for Astralis. Zipnix just on the outside. I like it a lot, but it's going to force Kinguin in towards Monster. Not that they know.
And now Sparrow might need to help out here. There's still two players shot. They've kind of negated it. I think they want to pinch it. And they're going to do that right about now. There you go. Dupree's now under fire coming in from Rallen. He fell back. He was over by Toilets. So he fulfilled that role in the end. I thought maybe they put too many players towards A, or at least, that additional one towards Toilets, but he came back through on the pass. It worked out well, kind of pinching in those players on short. Kinguin making the most of that hit there. And now Kiev and Glaive trying to play back into this one. Again, not much play going to come through this. They are pretty locked out, but any rifle taken away is good here. There were 3 up at the start of this, now down to 2. Rallen not particularly in a position to pick up that rifle either, so he might be able to get the last 2 as he is on the flank.
Kirby chimes in at the very least with the Deagle shot there earlier on, but Rallen has the drop on Kirby pretty solidly here. He may or may not see him, and really, the bomb's going to go up either way. There's not much that can be done about it. Glaive walks straight into that one here. Again, that rifle for Rallen still out of his grasp. He probably won't have it as Kirby was waiting for him. In fact, removes his UMP from him. And that's something Astralis at least can take into round number 3. Kinguin with a good start, and we are looking at Kinguin now on this T side to put together some of those more elaborate setups that we're hoping to see. Especially given that Chad has mentioned that they like to spend a lot of time in server and practice them. And this is that kind of team that isn't at every event, Lauren, that isn't flying around the world every other week. They have time to work on set plays.
And something doesn't often get mentioned as much as maybe it should. They do still have Lord as their coach as well. So it's not like they don't have an experienced head behind them kind of pointing in the right direction. Might kind of create that personality that they have as a team that, they like those kind of sort of styles to the game. But for now, the danger man really is Kirby. Maybe Dupree's got a Deagle. We saw what happened on this map last time. He had that to hand. And I wonder if you can see the name of his Deagle at the moment. I wonder if he's got the name tag on. Can we check? Can we go spec Dupree? Let's see if he... it's not. It's Kirby's. That's a shame. If he gets it, we'll have a little check. It's a little spicy name. And, well, there goes the one bit of impact, and there goes the second. So far, Kinguin's approach so far has been nice. It's cleaning out, mostly focusing towards long and Toilets control, but yet still having players watching for maybe a bit of aggression out on B or just ready to catch anything that's coming their way. The only threat is these two players. If they actually find anything here, they're in a little bit of a cheeky spot, but they have no armor, they've got no USPs. If they go together, Kinguin, at worst, they trade out. So they should be fine. 4 rifles coming in, excluding Rallen.
Shouldn't be any more than trades at the very worst for Kinguin, and so far it opens up pretty well. It's pretty clean, in fact. Mihu finds Glaive, and that's the second fell, and on a Device. Easy as you like. Device not able to do too much there. It was Zipnix who actually found the kill. But now the gloves are off, Laura. Now we're going to buy up some weapons and actually see what Astralis can put together here. Pretty standard AWP coming in for Device here. You have to find a kill with the pistols.
Doesn't have a great spawn anywhere. I guess he's got a slight A spawn, but nothing that you can really go overly aggressive with. He could do. He's not got a smoke to set him up for it, though, so you might have to have someone with him. Kirby possibly going to be there to do the smoke if he wants it, or he might just go for the dry peek. We'll see. He is, actually, as well. He spots out one lovely connection. That's going to do the work. He's got Kirby facing just behind him in case someone trying to make a quick play to chase him down. He now backs away from that. He can reset his positioning too, and they fall into what might be more of their default positioning.
Yeah, really nice early round setup there, just between two players. Kirby was always going to be there to cover Device's retreat, so it would have been a trade at worst. It would have been Astralis, would have been 4-3 up anyway. All good things for the Danes to start the round. The Molly just on the outside of the toilet block here, and it will be Kinguin moving in.
Oh, God.
Checks the smoke, doesn't see Kirby.
This could be everything. That's 2 players, kills for free coming in. They have no idea. And he's even expecting more players. Can readjust well, still utilizing the smoke, and Device is there to support. Lovely combination between the two, completely dismantling Kinguin in this round. And sadly for Kinguin, they never got off the starting blocks. This part of the round never began for them, constantly having to clear out everything because that early aggression, that early presence. And now Mao's, every angle could contain a player, but he has quite close to the barrel of the gun, but he doesn't have the shot. It plays Kirby back into this, but he will fall. But oh, what a shot is that? Towards Dupree, and now we're in a 1v3. Looking unlikely, but he is landing some nice shots there, but it does get contained in the end. That threat shut down by Glaive.
Yeah, Mouse tries to turn the flash, but it actually goes past him and blooms right in his face. Not an easy situation to try and navigate there, but a couple of moments there from Kinguin in that round, but they were playing from a man disadvantage from the very beginning. This is obviously the exchange there. Mouse was pretty blinded up after this flash comes in. This was earlier in the round as Kirby managed to get the drop. There is a gap in that smoke. I guess it had dissipated a little bit more by the time that Kirby had gotten through it, but somehow Kinguin missed that player lurking in the toilets.
Also remember the smokes do sometimes look different from spectator to what the player sees. Just, it might be a small difference, but there is a difference. So maybe it was different on their screens as well, which I think is still something that could be
I think we can give him the benefit of the doubt there, Lauren.
Definitely, you're right. So Dupree's just reset anti-flash for this, just in case to try and make a bit of a play coming down through Monster. But this is Kinguin pretty much doing the default. Default as you like. Look how spread out they are. Nothing particularly committed anywhere just yet. Seeing if there's any sort of tendencies coming out from Astralis, who seem to have maybe read that this could be a little bit more attentive towards B, just purely because where Kirby is. Kirby's just sat in towards underpass now. Device is perfectly fine here, but you're also taking a gamble that no one's going long. And actually, Kinguin is starting to line up that way.
Yeah, and this could be a little bit risky now because Device is going to be the only player that can really respond to this in a timely fashion. Kirby can at least get in towards the plaza. It's a little bit of a dangerous position to play through in general.
But no bomb for the T side, even though there are 3 players here. This is yet to be just done yet. Lovely little flash. Doesn't actually do much for him, but that smoke certainly going to give away enough information here. He's trying to get over the jump. It might have seen a glimpse and it might show up on radar if you jump over there. I'm kind of curious if it does. But Device is readying himself for that hit, but the bomb could be going elsewhere. This could all be but a bit of a play, a bit of a ruse, because look where Sparrow's going.
Yeah.
Heading right round towards B. Now, Glaive's still there, as is Dupree. They haven't particularly rotated, and Kiebi's position actually might become better. If they rotate, or if he hears them, he can play off the back of that. Hearing players on short actually might sell this being a different hit. And now here we go. Suddenly, everything's been seen. Dupree gets overrun by Mouse, and now it's Glaive to slow them down, buy time, do anything before the reinforcements arrive. 3
players encroaching on the site. Glaive's got a lot of angles to cover, but time is going to be of the essence here. Kinguin must plant the bomb, and they're attempting to do so now. Sparrow gets it down. It's done. And it's Kirby on his own, the 1v3. Kinguin cut it very finely. But once they select their site, their impact is quite efficient. And Dupree was in that spot there. He wasn't turned anti-flash for that push in. He actually moved back.
Yeah, distracted, don't know what it was, but he just didn't manage to get it done. But credit again to Rallen there. He was one of the players who committed towards A and actually made it round the back, being a constant nuisance, making it very hard for Astralis to rotate around. And it looks like Kinguin selling a bit of a fake there, another VP style that everyone talks about. Virtus Pro, the king of fakes, making you feel uncomfortable in the wrong places constantly. Something that if you talk to any team, they will tell you that's the one thing they hate about playing them. You never know quite where that hit's going to come in until it's right there in front of you. So again, maybe Kinguin picking up a little bit of that sort of style. They're certainly selling a bit of a kipper there. You had 3 players towards A, Zipnik's Device and Kiebi kind of in underpass still, and then the 2 obviously on the other side having to deal with everything. And look at the money now coming in from Astralis. That's double eco territory. And Dupree does have his deagle. I wonder if the name tag is on, just because I find it funny.
Gave us a little bit of it.
There you go. You'll catch it in a bit. Just because it's this map, so it applies.
Oh. Is that a reference to Thorin?
That is a reference to who he deagled the hell out of.
Oh, yes. Good times. Well, Dupree with the deagle. He's going to be holding that toxic corner for the moment.
And this looks like, again, Kinguin's hit towards B that came in before. Mostly, yeah, the bomb's there, but you look at the positions. You've got Rallen and Furlan working through one through underpass, clears that out, and then they pinch on short possibly a little later. They're being more active in it, maybe because they know this could be like a forced-up round, but it's quite deadly to go through this. Dupree might get played in here, not going to be getting much done yet. He's got a tag towards Mouse, but the plays through short begin, and now he's in trouble. He does find 1, but the flames are burning, and he just can't stand there anymore. So, Zipnik's now flashes in. More to follow. Great flashes too, catching both of them, making it hard work here. and Ryland's now going to pull himself up. But 2 rifles now sit into the Astralis' hands. This is not an easy round for Kingwin.
Well, Kirby lucky to get away with that one there. Mouse was definitely looking for him, but Zipnix has been able to advance through the smoke here. He's actually found himself a fantastic spot to sit. Mouse will eventually have to show, but before he can even get there, he needs to deal with Kirby and Glaive, who are harassing from that higher ground. 43 seconds left, but Kingwin are committed to this. They've got no other choice but to push forward now. Molotov into the corner. That's the second, but not quite. Oh, it does get in towards the corner. Zipnix is forced out. Good little back away by Kingwin to make it a 2v2, but Glaive responds.
Yeah, still doing damage there, and the final blow will come from Kiebi towards Maus. And it was just about handled. Luckily, the players who were left standing did have rifles coming back into that and played it off well, but damage, you know, you still had Zipnix around. It was still there in parts, but the money's pretty ruined for Astralis. Look at it. They can fashion a buy, but it's going to be far from ideal. But the same can be said for Kingwin. We've got P250s, UMPs, a Tech 9 there. I'm wondering if they quicken the pace, go for a faster sight hit, maybe something all together, maybe play out long. They know that Kiebi and Device are playing through toilets, and this might be it. We'll see if Device gets something done here. He's spotted out 1, spots 2, takes 1 shot. Nades out, backs away, depending on Kiebi to help him out, but actually they're
the
both
flash
backing.
forced him back. That could have been quite nasty for Astralis. But Kingwin chooses not to respond, not to take that opportunity. Both teams with less than optimal buys, but Astralis avoid the double eco territory for now.
Well, last time this happened, we saw those 3 men playing up towards long, or 2, I think it was, and then they actually hit B in the end. But this time, Astralis want to keep the information coming towards them. Now, actually, Kiebi's very isolated, very alone. Normally, you want him to bait in and work off the back of Device there, but he got smoked out. He can't help him, so now Device has to fall back. And Kingwin actually have a lot of information. Zipnix is trying to keep control of some parts of B just purely because of his position right now. He can deny that connector rotate very swiftly, he can at least hear it. So that allows Glaive to be over towards this. But there's still so much power with Kinguin here. They've still got so many smokes, flashes, even a molly still sitting there. So you can see Device trying to even the odds, and he's going to do it. Pulls it back favorably to them now. Let's see if they can work out the rest of where Kinguin wait.
Device, you can always count on him to even things up a little bit more, and in fact, Astralis play with the man advantage now. The smoke on long means that Kinguin won't aggress through that for the moment. Ferland will just sit pretty on the other side for now. He might go for a deeper smoking towards Bank. It's going to be the push. He goes straight through. The smoke was clearing, but he's decided now is the time to go. Smoke over at double bins as well. He needs to turn around. He needs to about face, but Mihu was also there. It's 2 for Kinguin on the side. Device responds. Zipnix has to get there quick. That's a ball bang through the bomb side, but no, the bomb gets planted.
He actually connected that too, but
not quite Yugi level.
Yeah. No. Yeah, he's going to try and keep that up to hand, and he's trying to not make noise because obviously you can hear it up on short towards A. So slinking away into the night. Merely 12 HP, no kit as well, and Kinguin, considering the buy they had, they made the most of that. Working their way back in, even to Device's best attempt, couldn't quite change it around. And knowing the money for Astralis could be in a bit of a predicament here, we'll have to have a look what they actually have, because that last round was pretty trash from them anyway. It wasn't ideal. Yeah, they're sitting, a couple of them under 2k, but most around it. So I wonder what they're going to buy here, what they can actually achieve in this round. And for Kinguin, they at least have money this time. You know, we saw P250's Tech 9s before. They've got so many mollies. I'm wondering if we get to see maybe a B hit come in. I'd love to see the Astralis hit against Astralis. I want to see what their kind of counter is, but they don't have the weaponry nor the utility to deny it. So that'd be interesting if they went for it, but it doesn't seem like that's the case.
Yeah, UMP's being brought around this very weak economy for Astralis. It's a force for all intents and purposes. Gonna hope to try and play around Device's AWP, and you can see he goes to party for that early pick. Again, a great way to relieve pressure early in a round where you are financially disadvantaged.
Yeah, look at these mollies coming through, trying to clear out everything, but the one thing they couldn't clear out was Dupree at the start, nor could they find Zipnix. Now 4v3, Kinguin may be regretting this. Maybe Astralis know how to handle this, find angles amongst those mollies that they've hamstrung so many teams against, but Zipnix finds himself in smoke, that just rolls into it. Thank you very much. Pops that back out, Device played in, and now we've got 2 left. Kinguin falling like flies, just unable to turn it, and Rallen through the smoke almost there. I think he might have had an angle on that, finding Device, but Rallen now outnumbered, well, maybe not outgunned, but at least on par. Gonna find it too hard to find that many targets. Recovered AWP comes in as well, but still, what kind of hit the brakes there, Kinguin. They seem to have run out of steam. They kind of got a little bit shaky when they went for the actual site hit.
And you can see it's very hard to rattle Astralis. They were facing down, you know, eco territory. They force up and they win the round pretty comfortably there with that aggression from pistols. Zipnix is very, very good at getting in and getting out with the job done. And that situation he played on B Catwalk was a good example of this. Now Kinguin going to force their own around the Tech 9s mostly, and an AK for Rallen.
This could be a fast hit as well. Here we go, Dupree backs away, flashes out again. Doesn't actually catch many of them, but they just can't check every angle. There's too many threats on board. One flash gets put back and it actually works well. But Zipnix is still there. Nice combination between the two. And the final fall to Kiebi, but a well-handled round in the end. Impact done early, and they rest quick on the rotate to not let it, you know, spiral too far. But Kinguin will have to eventually just, I guess, relent. You know, just stop what they were doing.
Tap out of the arms race.
They kind of have to now. Good score for them in the moment. 5 rounds up. You know, they're still ahead on Astralis by 1. So certainly not the worst thing in the world to be doing for them, keeping almost toe-to-toe here. I want to see if the depth applies to their CT side, but for now their T side is looking pretty nice.
And you can see there's so much coverage over on this B side. A lot of those smokes are actually coming over from Kinguin, but that's Device misses the first shot. Got to be careful. He needs to respect his pistols up close. They need to back away quickly, but the flash is too good. Miyu finds one. That's the AWP down. But Kiebi quickly chimes back in. The MP9 to make some money as well.
Pray to Kiebi for the saving grace that he has been. That could have been a lot worse for Astralis here, but there's still threats on board because somehow Mouse picked up an AWP, but that gets stripped away. The MP9
Get your
to the
hands
rest
off
go.
that, son.
Yeah, it was a swift backhand there, but now there's money back with Kinguin. They kind of had to do that anyway. You could see instantly it was just right there, ready to help out when required. And he does what they needed to. But Kinguin had to go through that round. They made the most of a bad situation anyway by still making them having to, you know, rebuy at least 2 guns, maybe drop one out here and there, but all is well. So 5-5 at the moment. This game is a little bit more competitive than maybe people expected. Kinguin coming in with a little bit of fire here, and again, Astralis going right back to this. Device going to be up and over. Smoke just going to keep him safe from certain angles, but there's a quick play coming in from Kinguin as well. Rallen and co do hit the brakes eventually, but there could have been more threat there.
Kirby's close to Device, so we have some protection, and Kirby's had an excellent couple of rounds. He's the pivot player for Astralis playing through Connector, and he's had multiple multi-kill situations over the last 2 rounds specifically.
I'm wondering what they do when that smoke dissipates. I think that's why Glaive's there, so they can stick in this position, because he's kind of holding the stair push. And it's a good read so far. Kirby's watching underpass, so they can't get pinched in, particularly. Now Device feels maybe uncomfortable, just wants to back away. Maybe just, you know, feeling out the opponents. Kinguin will start to move up eventually. He's fallen back to the Guardian stairs. I always refer to them because it seems the Guardian just loves to play off it. But for now, Kinguin looking towards long. 3 players over there. Bomb still with Furlan. He's going to pick that one up quite late and start trailing that one over. Slowly taking it over that sort of way. But at the moment, Mao's still trying to sell a little bit of presence towards B, but it will probably be that A hit coming in. It's been going down pretty well so far. The Astralis are able to handle that B hit, but when it comes to A, that deep smoke's really hindering what Device can achieve.
Yeah, they play really well through long, do Kingwood. They actually maybe re-smoked that smoke towards long, but eventually they pushed through it with a flash, and it's worked out nicely in the last couple. Here comes the play. Here's the setup. A lot of Molotovs coming through. It actually may be a reactive Molotov from Astralis there to block them on long. It's just in the opening.
It's so difficult for a Device to find a position here as well. Look at him forced to move out. Good flash, though, makes them having to run in pretty much hand over face, half blind at this point, but they've got to go for it. Mihu does find Kirby, but Device, the turret on the back of the side, won't be moved, but they're still breaking through by Bang. And there's still threat on board when Roland is alive. 12 seconds, though. Make it 10. Surrounded, he can't do anything. No more options available. But they got close.
Yeah, I mean, this time you see the Kingwood don't opt to re-smoke it and push through it or anything like that. Usually they're only going to do that for 1 player or so. But Astralis, a very good response. They had a feeling for the timing. They had an early peak. The incendiary was put down. So the impact of all Kingwin's Molotovs that they threw and the smokes was largely mitigated by the time they got to the site. And it was still a bloodbath. It was a messy brawl. But Astralis managed to plant their feet and re-establish control.
Back again. I guess he'll keep doing it until he's punished for it. Plays well for Glaive, though. Gonna find Furlan. Right back through the smoke.
Played himself back in so well there.
Yeah, that was really nice. And, oh, Suspiro will find Device. That's pretty uncomfortable for him. That means that there's an AWP fallen into hands of the opponent. But beyond that, Astralis know that they should have this round in the bag. Look at the aggression coming out from Dupree. He's going to be clearing it out, and that just kind of just shows. All right, Kingwood aren't here, so they're probably going to be working around towards A. Just be careful towards underpass. Don't give up guns.
Sparrow has managed to take Device's AWP here. So you can actually see that Astralis aren't playing up too close here around this part of the map. They'll fall back to the site, and Zipnix will try and nestle himself here amongst the toilets. Glaive, though, pressured a little bit here out of Connector. That's the flash. He turns it well. Now the shots come through. It's perfect. Centimetre perfect. 2 headshots for Glaive, and that is going to completely tear the legs out from under Kingwood.
Zipnix wants that AWP back, and he's going to get it as well. There we go. That's a nice little pickup. And at the moment, Astralis kind of carving back a nice lead into the CT half. Bearing in mind, Kingwin may have hit a bit of a brick wall. You know, they were doing really well on those A hits. The B hits weren't quite as, you know, to the point. And you can see this, you know, the rounds coming back to back now, coming through for Astralis. Maybe just getting into the flow of things, starting to read the opponent a little bit better, get the idea of what's going on. But we've got Suspiro on the AWP. We've got a full bike out from Kingwin.
Device to beat this round.
Switching it up, I like it. Again, this is something that you like about Device. You can't help but enjoy it. And look at the mollies allowing him to get here on time. That is so sick. I absolutely love this. And he's expecting the follow-up, but he doesn't hit the shot. But those mollies are put down to allow him to do that sort of play.
Otherwise, he runs into someone on Connector.
It's so nice. It's such a nice little adaptation or a little bit of a change. But anyway, my excitement aside, we're now down to a 4v4. Again, you know, both teams having to just string together what they can here. Kirby holding a nice angle. Normally the Shadow will allow him to play into that first. You can see the pre-fire coming from Glaive as soon as he sees that. And there was going to be another player out there. They know he's tagged up. Yeah, Glaive's going to actually back off from this. Maybe we're a little worried about Party, and right to be so. Now he's got to be careful. The escape becomes difficult. Oh my word, he knows it. He's trying to bait out the shot so he can back.
That's the pay dirt grenade there. That's nice. That's really going to make Spiro respect this a bit more. There was 2 players out on long, but because of the damage that Roland took in that first exchange with Kirby, he couldn't actually go for the re-peak after, I believe it was Glaive that actually responded. It was a 3v3, mind you. But things have slowed up a little bit more, and Zipnix is in the perfect spot to unravel this. Like that sweater your grandmother gives you for Christmas that you never wanted. He can really mess things up right now. But Furlan's pushed ahead of him through the toilet block. So now Glaive is going to be called on here, or maybe not. Zipnix now responds. First player down, there's going to be another one there. He's going to be surrounded on all sides, but the trade and the information is good for Astralis, and that allows Glaive to play himself in comfortably. The bomb is loose over on that A side, and Sparrow, the AWP streak was very short-lived.
It was 8-5. And yeah, this is why it's the early mollies and
You don't always expect
right
this as
eye.
well,
Yeah.
Sparrow to be playing through Monster like that with that AWP.
All right, let's see what we've got in store for us now, Kingwin. No AWPs, of course, this time for them. Not able to get that one up. But Device going back to what he likes to do. He's got Kiebi with him this time, so back to that little duo. And going to be possibly flashed in. And no one really there. So we only had a little bit of peek going towards underpass. This is the variety that pays off. And if you're Sparrow, do you expect this? No, Device actually backs away from it as well. So not outstaying his welcome. Maybe just not feeling it.
Would have been another interesting variation on AWP aggression for Device, which we
Yeah.
love, by the way. Playing it safe this round. He's actually backed away to the toilet block here. And yeah, Guardian plays his spot a lot, actually. He goes early peak on party and then always comes and sits back here. It's becoming the norm for a lot of AWP players. Even Simple picks up the AWP and does it.
You can see Device second-guessing himself that if someone had walked down those stairs and someone is just off to the left of him, he's going to have to depend on Kiebi, who now can't see it. The smoke's gone down, so now Kiebi has to just spray through suppressing fire. If only he had a Negev, it would have worked so well. But he does get his teammate out, so they're going to reset this one now. But look on the other side of the map, Dupree and Zipnix trying to push out through short. It didn't go well, so Sparrow's watching it. So again, having to fall back into this. They can't play out of it. Kievi playing up by the position on long, tucked in towards the corner. And looking at Kingwin, they seem to have just been waiting. They've kind of just slowed down and gone, all right, let's see if there's another response. Is there aggression anywhere? We almost caught it on B. Where are we going to go here?
Kingwin are going to get very low on time if they're not careful here. Rallon needs to come forward with the Molotov now, but the smoke is going to be in his way. So Kingwin have to book it straight up the middle here. They have to face this site. They've got 5 players to work with, and Kiebi needs to receive quickly. Fallon just demonstrates his backside to him. He doesn't take the shot. Oh, now they're all going to line up for him. It's too easy for Kiebi. And Glaive is going to get one as well. This is going to be tough.
Patience is certainly a virtue. You can see it alongside him, but Mihu maybe, surely not. 10 seconds. Device peeks back up, and Dupree's around the back though, so that should be contained right about now. And you could see Kingwin there with that line of smoke, 3 of them across the site, but just didn't expect Kiebi to be in that spot. You know, and him holding his nerve on that first player moving up and then falling back. And I guess if you're Kingwin, oh, he's alive, but I guess that no one's there.
You auto get traded out if you're gonna get traded out probably anyway, but you auto get traded 1-for-1 in that situation because he peeks, the second player turns around. The fact that he waits, who didn't actually see that first peek, that's quite astonishing to me. It's something you don't see very often, but he knew there'd be more. The smokes telegraphed the push from Kingwin en masse.
And this is different. Device is actually pretty alone here, just Kiebi's gone in towards underpass. And Kingwin this time, they have been getting control of underpass. You can see that consistently. They're doing it now. So Sparrow and Furlan walking right through. I wonder if they're going to go up or if they're going to check this far into the corner. No, Kiebi gets the drop. But Furlan's now waiting again. You can see Kingwin very far back. Yeah, a bit of a boost going on as well. Maybe expecting that play again from Device to get aggressive. So you can see Kingwin trying to mentally find a way to get back into it. But it's hard to break back into it when they're so